All right, welcome back. I have two people in the studio. They are blowing up social media. Why? Because both of them have sat on this seat individually and made statements that have shaken how people think about Africa and Africa Union. So I want you to meet my first guest.
Mary.
Mary, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Mary, what's your full name?
Mary Eudes Bitiki.
Bitiki Aqua. There you go. I always, and then my next guest is Advocate Safo Abebrese, right?
Yeah.
Why do I have to have two people with long names? Why can't it be just like John Smith or anyway? Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The first question, I'm going to go with you. The last time we came, first of all, it's Kwame Nkrumah's birthday.
Happy birthday, Kwame Nkrumah.
No, we're going to do better than that. We're going to sing happy birthday. How about that? Okay, you see, you didn't think you were coming here to sing. All right, let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kwame. Happy birthday to you. Okay, now I know that I can't sing. You can sing.
I cannot sing.
I cannot sing.
No, you held it up for all of us.
No, I
beautifully.
can't.
Happy birthday. Let's start with, what does Kwame Nkrumah mean to you?
Kwame Nkrumah. The people say the father of the nation, but I'll call him the father of the continent.
Ah, father of the continent.
Yes.
Very good. Why do you say that?
Well, I see a man who not only fought for independence of Ghana, but he will say Ghana will never be independent until the whole continent is free. And he did it. And when I saw how he brought the whole continent together during his time, the first meetings of the African leaders and everybody coming together through his leadership, and what he did to other African countries, rather than when he was alive. And again, he didn't live long with us, but in the short time that he lived, we saw the unity that we don't experience today.
Advocate. Indeed, Kwame Nkrumah did that, but it made him unpopular locally. So what does Kwame Nkrumah mean to you as a Ghanaian? Well, she's Ghanaian also.
She's Ghanaian
But
too.
yeah, from a Ghana perspective, what does Kwame Nkrumah mean to you?
Well, from a Ghana perspective, I think that, yes, I also see him as a father of the nation and also a father of the continent, and even maybe beyond, because he is a source of inspiration even to diasporans now, So, I mean, his pedigree, crossed all the borders, the borders of Ghana, the borders of Africa, even into Europe and everywhere else. Kwame Nkrumah was too much of an inspiration.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that some of us didn't grow up to come and see him, but from what we've read, what we've experienced about his rule and all that, I think that he was way ahead of his generation.
Okay.
And that is what created problems for him.
Okay.
Because you look at, if at that time, Ghana becomes the first African country to gain independence, and these colonial masters are thinking, south of the Sahara, that's why I said black.
Okay.
And the colonial masters are thinking, okay, this guy is giving us too much trouble, let's give him his Ghana. And the moment he mounts the platform to celebrate Ghana's independence, what comes out is the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent. Yes. It takes somebody in that time, it means he was way ahead of his generation. Yeah. And he didn't just say it, as my sister, pointed out. He lived it.
Yeah.
And he made sure that he opened the door, he fought for the total liberation of the African continent, starting with all the ECOWAS countries, helping all of them.
Yes.
Maybe he overdid it,
a short period of time.
Yes, but it was a storm that he led all over the continent of Africa, and what we are now, we actually owe it to him.
Yeah, but so let me ask you, Mary, is it fair to the others to always mention Kwame Nkrumah as if he did it alone. In the Ghana context, were there others who are also not getting enough credit? And at the continental level, are there others also who are not getting enough credit?
I think for me, when it comes to Ghana, particularly for Ghana, the way people, history that tells us that the way they are before him, right? But again, we may have the same idea, same direction, but how we do it is different and how we want it. He wanted independence now.
Yeah.
And he achieved it. Others, which I still really regard them, I give them credit for what they did. But I think, I'm sorry for saying this, I'm going to say that. When we say we can go slowly, we can do diplomacy, unfortunately we lost him. And we are seeing diplomacy for how many years until today?
Yeah.
Right? And if we have to believe in his ideology, which I believe that's what he did, and he got it at a time, I want it now, and he got it. So to me, he deserves it.
Advocate, has white people tamed us with diplomacy?
Yes, in a way. In a way. You know, sometimes even we lawyers are looking at it from this perspective of thinking that maybe too much adherence to the rule of law, you know, in terms of the
Diplomacy.
Yeah, the diplomacy and the democratic principles that are, you know, very good, you know, for governance and all that. Sometimes you get to a point when you are fighting for your liberation and freedom, you cannot do it just by obeying all the laws that, you know, your own conqueror is placing on you, because those laws are meant to inhibit you.
Yeah.
If Kwame Nkrumah didn't break those laws and get arrested and thrown into jail, if Nelson Mandela didn't break those laws and get arrested and put in jail, you know, if all those freedom fighters didn't dare, you know, to break the law and fight against, you know, the colonial powers, we wouldn't be where we are now.
So to ask you, if somebody came and occupied your house, and you want him out, and the person, oh, no, before you drive me out of this place, you must do this, do this, do this. And then you said, okay, fine. What do I need to do? Step one, I must write a letter to you. Step two, I should do this. Americans said, no, you're in my house. Get out now before we even talk. Which one is the best formula?
The best formula is to get out now. We don't have to negotiate. It's my house.
Yeah.
I say the rules. You just can't come and tell me I should apply for you to leave, or I should give you milk and coffee and whatever before you can leave.
Yeah.
I decide because it's my house.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he did, and I give him credit.
So why are we still writing letters, Advocate?
Unfortunately, we are still writing letters.
60 years later, because we're still talking about the diplomatic approach. Because, look, let me tell you my frustration.
Yeah.
If Chinese people are kicking our people out in the streets, and you are upset as a diplomat, you open your mouth, oh, no, you can't say that in diplomatic language. And they come here, Chinese people come here, they're buying up your land, they're destroying your land. Oh, no, you have to follow the diplomatic principle. At what point do we say, you know what, forget diplomacy, we want you to do A, B, C, or else X, Y, Z? At what point do we get to that point? Because I think diplomacy is not working for us. Or maybe just me. What do you think?
Well, in terms of Pan-Africanism, especially where we are now, okay, the world has become a lot more of a global, you know, village, because there's a lot more of interactions with other countries, you know, with other continents, you know, with Africa. But we have a situation where the interest in Africa from the foreign countries is also grown, and there's basically one reason why it is so, you know, because now they know what Africa is worth. Initially, yes, they could come and land at the beach and see gold here and there, you know, but now they know that this earth of ours contains 43% of the world's wealth. And so we are the richest continent, and they want it. So, as it is now, there is a neo-colonialism that is going on.
Yeah.
And in fact, when we come to the African Union, I mean, leadership.
We'll get there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
So the
it is taking a new form.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
you talk about neo-colonialism.
Yes.
Before we had colonialism, and it took Kwame Nkrumah and a few others
Yes.
to knock that out of here. So today we have neo-colonialism.
Yes.
Mary, who's the next Kwame Nkrumah, in your opinion? Now, today.
I'll just have to comment a little bit of what we were saying now, then I'll come back to that. I think when we talk of diplomacy, depending on what we call diplomacy, again, we are being disrespected. Still, 100 years almost, now we're going to 100 years since we start fighting this independence very soon. And we are still applying to get that Africa we want. We are still applying to get freedom that we want, to get to the world stage. We're not yet there because of what Kwame Nkrumah wanted, that we haven't achieved it yet, to be one. We can talk of resources we have. We can talk of whatever they now understand what we have. But do we as Africans understand what we have?
Yeah.
We're not yet there. We don't understand. As long as we're not one, if we become one, surely the whole world will feel our weight. They will feel what we have to offer.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can say that before Kwame Nkrumah came, yes, there were people fighting for independence, and but he came and accelerated it. So because he understood. So today we're back on the same block again. The rules are different. When you look on the horizon today, who would you say is the next Kwame Nkrumah?
The next Kwame Nkrumah is us, the new generation. It's us. We gotta do it.
Okay.
We gotta step up and say, you know what, we are here and we want to change, and the change is today.
Okay.
We don't want it to next year.
So you're saying that we don't need one person; it's a combined effort.
No, we are.
So then, what are we not doing? When you say it's us, what are we not doing?
What we're not doing is this, and I think it's gotten to the point where we have to be, very, very, blunt about it.
Yeah.
What we're not doing is that the African Union is failing us. It's failing the 1.3 billion people of Africa. And if you add those in the diaspora, you're getting to about 2 billion people. The African Union is failing us. The leadership of the African Union is not doing enough. Yes, they have the high points. Okay, they have the Agenda 2063. Okay, it's being pursued, with the limitations and all that. But at least efforts are being made. We just had the African Free Trade Center, in Accra, Ghana. That is, a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the total emancipation of the African continent from foreign domination and foreign dominion, we're not doing much.
I know.
And the reason we're not doing much is that we're not involving the citizens of Africa in all these efforts. It's either the citizens themselves are not waking up to the reality that we take active part in the politics of our own countries. Okay, how come at the AU level, nobody seems to care?
You're hitting it. Now you're hitting it. Because in Cote d'Ivoire today, the opposition met.
Yes.
And they said, no, Ouattara, you can't run for third term. We're all going to go in the demonstration, nationwide demonstration. But they don't care what's going on in Addis Ababa. What will it take? That's what I'm trying to get from you guys. What would it take for the citizens to start to care, to think continentally?
Yes.
Well, we have this African Union. Let me go back to it again. And we have this free trade area that is going on. And we have individual countries. Now, how do we get there? Because technically, African Union is just an organization that we have called African Union, but it's not working. Because we put, how do you call them? The policies are not working and are not being empowered. These leaders, when they meet our leaders, our presidents, and they put a policy like a free trade or whatever, it's so brilliant. They'll bring somebody out there, put him there. But again, let's talk about how is this free trade area going to work? Who's going to finance it?
That's for the guy they put there to figure out.
Who's going to finance it?
Okay.
He himself How is he getting finance? The African Union we talk today, how does it get financed?
Yeah.
Right? Where do they get the money for it to run?
You see,
Let me just go deeper a little bit.
On our next segment.
Let me just go deeper a little bit. So what the question you asked me, like, how are we going to do it? As long as we, as Africans, we black people, don't come to challenge our leaders to change the way they are doing things in African Union and say, you know what, we have to have a policy that works. A mandate is for 3 years, 2 years, 4 years. When it ends, you're allowed to run for a second mandate. After that, you quit. We don't want a leader to sit for longer. We have a lot of educated, brilliant Africans who can do the job. The other thing is, how do we get to have the African Free Trade, for example, to come together, right, and be financed within the continent?
Yeah.
How do we get to our resources, whatever, to that I will come to talk about it later. As long as we're still having finance from outside of the continent.
Yeah. Okay.
Our leaders that are failing, we'll still have a European Union that is failing.
Yeah.
A leader that wants to be like those that don't want to talk rule forever. That's what we are having today. The guy wants to stay forever for African Union, and he's not doing anything. Do you expect Cote d'Ivoire to leave? Because he was supposed to tell the guy, hey, listen, your terms are finished, quit. Let a new blood come in.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
You guys are taking me ahead. Right now, this segment, I want us to talk about us because you started it. You see, it'll take us.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Advocate, in Houston, I was fortunate enough to be elected president of African Community Organization president. Okay. Now, we were trying to get people to be involved at the ACU, African Community Organization level.
Yeah.
It was like trying to pull their teeth. Because what we noticed was that within Houston, when you talk about the Ashanti group, when you go to their meeting, it's full. The Ewa group, they're full. When you go to Gambia and Senegal, the Wolof group, they're full. That's at the parochial level. Before you come to the national group, Ghana Association, Senegal Association, Nigerian Foundation, also you have participation. By the time you get to the continental level, they've disappeared. So we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, I want you guys to tell us what it will take to get the African on the street to think continental. This is Diaspora Weekly. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We wake up every morning to different stories from politics, business, sports, and entertainment. These stories, one way or the other, affect our lifestyle and dealings with family, friends, and business associates. Your take on Diaspora Network Television gives you an opportunity to have your take on these pertinent issues via phone in and messages to our social media platforms, DNT Ghana on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If it's an important trending story, we will definitely talk about it. Your take with me, Yasichi, on DNT.
I go kill you with
10 years of rewarding radio and television excellence. 10 years of rewarding excellent voices and personalities. 10 years of providing quality entertainment. RTP Awards, it's 10 years. The excitement is back. The 10th Adonko RTP Awards hitting the Kempinski Hotel live on the 7th of November 2020, coupled with spectacular performances. Time 6 p.m. The Adonko RTP Awards is brought to you by Adonko Hand Sanitizer, Adonko Next Level Energy Drink, Jim Ray Estates, Bio Litigation Freelance, Verna Mineral Water, Your Lifestyle, Dofu Roofing Systems, Yas Tissues, Special Drinks, Jerry Gatti Fashion House, Papa's Pizza, Axis Shipping, 247 Zara Boutique, A to Z Auto Services, Sumisura by Abdul, a step ahead in tailoring. The 10th Adonko RTP Awards is a black tie event. Attendance is by invitation. For DNT to win more awards, vote for us now. For DNT to win the television digital station of the year award, dial *447*111#. Select RTP DNT to vote. Or you can log on to rtpawardsafrica.com, select RTP DNT to vote.
I go kill you with enjoyment.
welcome back. This is special edition of Diaspora Weekly celebrating Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah on his birthday. He was born today, and he's really made a difference. It's amazing wherever you go in the world when you see black man, say Nkrumah, they know who Nkrumah is. At the end of the day, that's what it's worth. There's been a lot of rich people on this continent. But when you go over the continent, nobody knows them. But they know Kwame Nkrumah. As a matter of fact, one of the many occasions when I mentioned my name, Jermaine Nkrumah, oh, great! Are you related? I said, well, unfortunately not. And then you see that the smile disappears. And I know that if I were to lie and say, oh, yeah, that's my father, great! But that's the power of the Nkrumah name. He made a difference. So why is it that today's African is not thinking that? What will it take? Mary, how do we create another Kwame Nkrumah?
We create another Kwame Nkrumah by education.
Okay.
The knowledge that I have, or what I know, share with the rest of the continent, because we must also remember that most of our people are not educated. People in the villages, people those in our markets do not even know what's going on. They are being led bluntly. But again, we are lucky that you are here, that we have this TV where people can come in and share the ideas and share their knowledge. We need to share it over and over again, and we don't have to give up. We have to push it harder than ever. And this is the time that really the African population, the black person, whatever he is, need to wake up and to learn and to say, you know what, we can do it.
Yeah. Before we went on break, I was asking, what does it take to get the man on the street involved? You said you have the magic wand. Tell us, how do I go to Makola and get the woman selling pepper to think African unity?
Good. How
do we do that?
You see, from the perspective of my organization, the Coalition of Supporters Unions of Africa, if you look at the AU charter that was signed to make us a partner to the African Union, we are supposed to build African unity, through sports. Okay. And I think sports is the magic wand. If we do it well, basically what we do, or maybe we've not reached that point yet, but what we aim to do is to be able to rally full African support for African teams that are participating in the Olympic Games, in the World Cups, in all the continental,
My friend, do you know how long we've been playing African Nations Cup? African Cup of Nations, whatever you call it.
Yes.
We've been playing it. I remember when I was young, Kotoko won it, and it still hasn't happened. So this sports thing, you're telling me the pepper seller in Makola, you're gonna get her to think continent.
Let me tell you how we're gonna do it.
Okay.
It's just because we had never structured it.
Okay.
It was a spontaneous kind of thing. But if you structure it very well, you get the result. This is exactly how Kozua, intends to run this. Okay, and that is why I believe the AU deemed it fit to have a partnership with us. Okay. Because when it comes to sports, people join in out of the passion. Okay. In fact, right now, sports is the best means of, demonstrating the nationalistic, feeling. You saw it in 2010 in South Africa. You saw how many Africans would jump on the this and celebrate when Ghana scores. Okay, because we created Bafana Bagana, and we created it in such a way that every African now identifies with Ghana and puts the support and everything behind it. If we structure it very well, and I'm telling you, this is a breaking news on your network. Okay, we're seeking to launch our 21-year mass mobilization, program. Okay, next year. Okay, because next year we're now going to resume the sporting activities and all that. And what we're intending to do is to mobilize, up to about 5,000 people for the next World Cup, for instance.
Okay.
From all the countries, your country doesn't need to qualify for the World Cup before you can join.
Join, okay.
Once you're an African
Okay.
and you identify with Africa, okay, you win a slot. And we're going to build it in such a way that those slots could even be free.
Okay.
Okay, so you were telling me how you can do 1 billion, you know, this now with modern technology, all those things are available. You enter the lottery, maybe $1, okay, and we run it all over the continent.
Yeah.
People win. Maybe we have 5,000 people that have won from the various countries of Africa.
Let me challenge.
We dress them up in the colors of the 5 countries that are representing us in the World Cup.
Okay.
Okay. But before we select those 5,000, we've already made members of about, 30,000, 50,000, 80,000 people that, participated in the lottery. So
with that one, what percentage would be men and what percentage would be women?
it is not
It's not gender specific, but we know that when you talk sports,
it's not gender specific.
when you talk sports, you've taken only the guys and you let the women out.
No.
Okay.
My brother, let me tell you this.
Explain.
In fact, we are involving the ladies' games as well. The ladies also play the World Cup. The ladies also play the Olympic Games.
Okay,
A couple of years ago, we were in France. Ghana and Nigeria were representing Africa in the ladies, games.
So sports, I get you. Sports,
yes, that
ladies.
is the part we are playing as COSWA. We are going to take it to the next level. Okay, where we have hundreds of millions of people participating to be able to win, to go to those World Cups for free. And the funding that is raised from the $1, and all that gives us the membership base.
Okay.
So if in 1 year we have registered, let's say, 200, 300 million members through the the lottery system that people participated, and 5,000 people won it, and they are going to represent the rest of us at the World Cups. One, we're going to get the African, teams very well represented.
What I'm gonna do is this looks like something that you probably do. You have a paper on it?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give you this promise. If you give it to, this is something that DNT would love to work on you because it looks very comprehensive. But my opinion on how to get the African, you mentioned sports, right?
Yes.
We have someone sitting here whose mother is from Rwanda. Father is from where? Ghana. I'm from Ghana, married to Nigerian. You're not married yet. You say you're not married, so you're looking for a wife. We're going to get you a wife, but that wife is not going to come from Ghana because we think the formula is intermarriage. What do you think? Is there another way beyond sports?
The formula is love.
I'm not downplaying the soccer part of it, right? The sports. It's a good idea, and it's one of the tools that we can use. But I think African people need, wherever they are across the planet, it's just not about, we need awakening. We are sleeping. There was a time of awakening or a time of Kwame Nkrumah that he did beautifully than I have ever seen, according to what I read, because we were not born yet. But again, that's what we need today.
How do you awaken?
How do we do? Now, we're lucky that there is this Diaspora TV, and there are many other channels. We are in the world of social media today. I'm not trying to advocate for uprising, definitely not. But again, where it has happened and changes that has happened. When we talk of France Revolution, when we talk of English Revolution, it happened because of communication. We can do it today, and the African need to be awakened, need to be told the truth, because our brothers and sisters are sleeping. Come on, but they need to be awakened. And I don't think, as much as we're going to use the sport, which is a very beautiful thing, but can we create our own African way of reaching to our people?
Okay.
And teach the people at the Makola markets, hey, listen, you're an African. I'm an African. To rather start seeing, we have to awaken the Kwame Nkrumahist ideas.
Do you think the woman in Makola, whether it's Ga, Fanti, Ewe, Shanti, whatever, if her son wants to marry a woman from Malawi, do you think she will agree?
That's what I say. Education. How do we do it? You have a TV now. That's your job that you're supposed to be doing today. Because so many times we see the things of you don't marry into this tribe. You don't marry into that tribe.
Yeah.
Well, I saw some comment of the previous video we did. People were saying, no, Ghanaians, we are one. I don't understand these things that he's talking about.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. Until we Africans learn to face the truth,
Yeah.
and be truthful, because we are living hypocrisy, and it's a time to put down the hypocrisy and
That's
live the
actually
truth.
true.
This is the reality. How many people, relationships or marriages have failed because of our tribes?
Because if we don't see ourselves as one,
because we don't talk about it also.
Let's be clear.
We hide
here.
it, we don't talk about it. When we talk about it, oh, you are lying, that's how it is. But you know what, with education, when you, like what you did the last time, like what we are discussing now is a hard truth, but it has to be spoken.
Yeah.
When we no longer see ourselves as Ewe,
Different.
or Asante, or Fanti, and we don't see also ourselves as a Ghanaian, it is so beautiful and blessed to be born a Ghanaian, but it is even more beautiful and a blessing to be an African.
That's see, you hit the thing. Look, it's very nice to say, oh, African unity, let's unite, but the moment I want to, as for those people, you must be careful about them.
I want to say something from my own experience. Okay, I have traveled to many African countries. People hate me, but this is the truth. And you go to a certain country. No, let me not talk about my experience. Let me talk about what I read on the internet. There was this woman, she's an East African, West African. I'm not going to mention the name so people cannot be offended. And she happened to be in the conference in this country. So she was given an interview. And then she was responding. But now the comment came in, and people were saying, oh, that country, she's one of a West African country, nearby Ghana here. And she was like, they were like, oh, that country is very dirty. How dirty it is. You know, those people, they're very, very dirty. You know, you already said those people. So what are you trying to say? You are trying to say actually those. You are clean, those. That's how we Africans are. It's no longer only just a tribal things, also even national. Some nationality think they are better than others. We've been taught to rather see ourselves individually.
So, Advocate, let me come to you on that. It's very easy for people. I mean, hey, we're talking about hard truths here. It's very easy for me to say, oh, as for those Nigerians, they are so and so and so, as if all Nigerians do the same thing. But when you look at the banks in Ghana, how many of them are Nigerian owned? If it wasn't Nigerian owned banks, our banking system would be in the tanks. Telcos here from South Africa, they might be owned by white, but at the end of the day, we cannot be serious about African unity unless we start to see ourselves as one.
So it all boils down to how we eradicate the stigmatization.
Stigmatization,
you know, because so long as we continue to stigmatize each other and have these ideas about other people, even without going to their countries to look at what they have, you know, it becomes a problem. Again, I still want to, you know, talk about what my organization's vision about these things is. Because, you know, the more you intermingle the people with each other, you know, for example, we're going to, you mentioned the African Cup of Nations. We're going to have it next year. Okay, we're going to have as many as 24 nations, you know, congregating in Cameroon to play the games.
Wait, they gave African Cup of Nations to Paul Biya. The guy who can barely walk, who's now, he's been there for how many years? 33 years or so.
He had it even before.
That is the point. Sorry to cut you. That is the point. Why should we reward?
It shouldn't happen.
Why should we reward dictatorship?
You see, but the point is, with a football, you know, I don't think that becomes too much of a consideration. It is a revolving thing. You know, if a country bids for it,
they should be disqualified from bidding.
But wait,
can I say something a little bit?
We have a situation where, you know, the African Cup was in complete danger. You know, we had. I didn't want to mention names.
Can I say something about
you know,
it? I think
but we have Equatorial Guinea stepping up and saying, we will host the World Cup for Africa. Okay, and sometimes you need that kind of autocratic leader wait. Let me put it this way: that kind of person that can take that decision on behalf of the continent to say we
completely disagree. Let me give you.
But it saved the continent.
No.
It saved the continent.
That's a short way.
We were able to hold the African Cup of Nations in Equatorial Guinea, where all the 24 nations.
That's a short way of.
Okay.
Let's see.
We see that is a problem the continent is still facing today. Let's come to international stage. How many? Recently there was how do you call this game that Iran had to host? They sabotaged because of the system in Iran that they were not happy, and they stopped it. There was a time the Chinese wanted to host Olympics, and the people voiced out.
Yeah.
We don't want this to happen in that country because of their rules and whatever. And it happened. They forced them to change, right? And why in Africa are we not using rather the soccer that we have so beautifully? If Cameroonians want,
because we haven't gotten there yet.
I think we have.
No, with the soccer, with the sporting competitions, we haven't gotten to the point where CAF can stand up and say, if your rulership is not up to this point,
it shouldn't be up to CAF. It shouldn't be up to CAF.
It should be.
I'm saying that see, African Union. You guys all believe that African Union is not doing its job.
It's not doing the job.
Okay.
It's not doing
These are some of the parameters.
Yes.
You set the standard.
You set the standard.
If you abridge it, Cote d'Ivoire, Ouattara, your 2 terms are up. You say you're running again. Your punishment. No international. You don't get to host any continental.
And you don't even get to participate in the one that is.
Thank you. You don't even. In fact, we won't let the Cote d'Ivoire team
get to that point. That will really.
I think we're at that point. I really do. I think we're at that point. Because look, let me tell you,
you are not going to get the current CAF as it is.
Well, because
take it away from CAF.
If African Union was ranking, the CAF will come on board.
Take it away from CAF.
So
take it away from
CAF. That's what I'm saying. That we need the African Union itself. We need a lot of paradigm shift to take place there.
And this is the paradigm shift we're talking about.
We had issues with the Ghana Football Association. And we saw how the government came to rescue and did things.
You talking about Ghana? Look at what FIFA did to until we changed. They instituted punishment for the country.
Exactly. So why can't African Union do the same thing?
Let me take you to Alabama, one of those southern states. There were a lot of racist issue with Confederate flag, NCAA, which is the collegiate athletic. They said we're not holding any event in your state until you change.
Beautiful.
Because these countries know that. Think about it. If you're Ghana and you know that when African Cup of Nations comes in here, there's going to be a lot of you sit down and calculate maybe $300 million coming into your system, and they say if you don't make this change, we're not coming. We're there, trust me. And all these Paul Bias and Musevenis and all these.
We are giving him a gift. We are giving him a gift, and it's all saying we're happy with what you're doing, and we are coming to a country to celebrate.
This whole thing now boils down to leadership.
That's
of
it.
the African Union
That's it.
And that is why we're all crying our heads off with the current situation where we have an African Union Commission leader that wants to run unopposed and doesn't want to have any challenge from anybody.
So now we've come to that African Union. Talk to me. Talk to me about African Union.
That is where it started from. That one, we are in a position that we can do something about it right now,
right
away.
What next are we doing?
What
about
next are
this
we
African
doing?
Union
of
thing?
course, we filed the petition. You know, we and it will interest you to know that it's not only COSUA, my organization, that is up to it. We also have the Kwame Nkrumah Ideological Institute. You know, I say, you know, salute to Dr. Nyagri and others at the Kwame Nkrumah Ideological Institute. Today is their day. We're celebrating the man. They have also filed a petition on change.org.
If the petitions don't work, what's the next step?
We have filed ours on avaz.org. We're telling everybody, go on the AVAAZ, sign the petition. Okay. If Faki Mahamat and Cyril Ramaphosa still say we'll still go ahead with the elections, we will look at other other alternatives that we have.
Such as?
You want us to let them know what we're going to do?
Yes, please. They should know what's coming down.
Okay. one crucial thing, maybe is because I'm a lawyer. You know, every government thrives on three arms. You know, we have the executive, we have the legislature, and we have the judiciary. In the case of the African Union, I mean, in every country we have these three organs, and they constitute checks and balances on each other, and that is how democracy thrives. At the level of the African Union, of course, we have the African Parliament that is hosted in South Africa, but everything is, all the powers are in the hands of the executive. Okay. If you are the African Union chairperson, okay, you are virtually the president of Africa. Okay. You know, and you do and say whatever you want, you know, and...
So how is the parliament constituted?
The parliament is constituted, as I said, is in South Africa. Yeah, but the various countries, you know, send their delegates.
How many
you know,
per country?
I don't have the specifics right now. But my concern mostly is with the executive and the judiciary. Okay. Okay, because you were asking me if the executive says, we are still not taking your petition. Okay, the man is unopposed, he's running unopposed. What do we do next? Under normal circumstances, the easiest way is to go to the African Union Court. Okay. And to say that we're filing, we're filing, we're filing a motion to suspend the elections. Okay. And you get a hearing. The judges sit down and listen to your arguments.
So why are we doing that?
It's because up to today, since 1998, that the modalities for establishing the African Union Court started, okay, up to today, only 9 countries have ratified the protocol that says that the citizens of Africa can come and file anything that they want to do anything about. You know, the citizens and the NGOs, the civil society groups, up to today, we've not been allowed. So if only 9 countries have ratified.
Can I say something about
to allow that?
If 33 doesn't sign, you're saying that we cannot file this one in court.
We can't. The African Union Court is sitting in Arusha, Tanzania, as we speak. Okay. Okay. But maybe we will want to, COSWA will want to try it and see, I mean, to set a legal precedence. Because if they are saying that citizens and NGOs cannot come before us, because only 9 countries have allowed that. Okay, the rest of the countries, and of course, people might want to know which. ECOWAS alone, 6 countries have ratified, including Ghana. Okay. Okay, but we have a situation. What are the others doing?
Okay, what are the others doing? Why do you think they haven't signed?
Again, it comes again to the same point that I said. Let's empower our people. Here is the problem. African Union, as I said, that man doesn't represent African us. He represents the African presidents, not African people. Because the president sit and they elect, they choose who to be a chairperson or who to be the chairperson of African Union. Now here's the problem, or the secretary, whatever. Here is the problem. Why didn't we see East Africa nominate a candidate? Should be questionable, isn't it? Yeah. Why didn't we see Southern Africa nominate a candidate? That should be questionable. Why didn't we see Central Africa nominate a candidate?
He's already from Central Africa, so that is failed.
He's from
Central. But West Africa, North Africa...
We didn't see North Africa appointing. That really is questionable. Now, we have one in Ghana that appointed, and all of a sudden the guy also asked, he told me, Mustafa Kio, can I come contest against you? Ridiculous. But what do we see? We see the diaspora Africans very active and working.
That's the 6th region.
The 6th region is really, really active and working, challenging the status quo. But on the continent, we on the continent are sleeping. We are rather say, you know what my president delegate, I'm happy.
Okay, but when we come back, we're going to go on a break, okay? I want you guys to think about this. And this just, there are how many regions in AU?
5.
No.
6.
Oh, the 6th region.
Good.
Well.
The 6th region.
Has to have a vote.
Can they submit a candidate?
No.
We'll be right back.
As it is now.
We'll be right back.
I go kill you with enjoyment. 10 years of rewarding radio and television excellence. 10 years of rewarding excellent voices and personalities. 10 years of providing quality entertainment. RTP Awards, it's 10 years. The excitement is back. The 10th Adonko RTP Awards hitting the Kempinski Hotel live on the 7th of November 2020, coupled with spectacular performances. Time 6 p.m. The Adonko RTP Awards is brought to you by Adonko Hand Sanitizer, Adonko Next Level Energy Drink, Jim Ray Estates, Bio Litigation Freeland, Verna Mineral Water, Your Lifestyle, Dofu Roofing Systems, Yas Tissues, Special Drinks, Jerry Gatti Fashion House, Papa's Pizza, Axis Shipping, 247 Zara Boutique, A to Z Auto Services, Sumisura by Abdul, a step ahead in tailoring. The 10th Adonko RTP Awards is a black tie event. Attendance is by invitation. For DNT to win more awards, vote for us now. For DNT to win the Television Digital Station of the Year award, dial *447*111#. Select RTP DNT to vote. Or you can log on to rtpawardsadfrica.com, select RTP DNT to vote.
As the national regulator of the communications industry in Ghana, the National Communications Authority seeks to ensure an environment that is safe and fair for consumers and service providers. NCA grants licenses and authorizations for operation of communication systems and services, develops guidelines to streamline communication activities, establish and monitor quality of service indicators for operators and service providers. NCA is in 8 regions: Accra, Tamale, Takoradi, Kumasi, Ho, Koforidua, Sunyani, and Bolgatanga. Do you have unresolved complaints with your service providers? Contact us on 0800110662, 0307011419 between the hours of 8 o'clock a.m. and 5 o'clock p.m. from Monday to Friday, or visit our website at www.nca.org.gh and follow the procedure for filing a complaint or submitting enquiry. National Communications Authority, communications for development.
Would you buy anything without first knowing exactly what the product was and how it could benefit you? Definitely not. Neither should you vote for your next member of parliament without knowing who they are and how they plan to solve your problems. Watch The Next MP only on Diaspora Network Television and find out the men and women who want to represent you in parliament. The Next MP only on DNT.
Okay, welcome back. This is Diaspora, a special edition of Diaspora Weekly. We're talking about Pan-Africanism, and on the birthday of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the symbol of African unity. Unbeknownst to us, social media is blowing up. We've got several comments. Let's take a call, a couple of them. Doris Archery says, it takes selfless people to sacrifice their lives for Africa. Also, some interesting social activism.
That's Kozua USA.
Right.
I know her.
Open the borders for free movement, free trade interaction around Africa. Sports have the great access to bring Africa together. Create our own sports like America have different kind of sports that binds the nation together. And then another one say sports will finance African challenges. Well, yes. Here is my thing. They talk about creating sports that's authentic from Africa. Mm-hmm. When we go to Olympic Games, we play, every one of those games was created by them.
Yeah.
No wonder we can't win any medals, all right? But we have games like Owari, drafts, and I'm sure other African countries have games that are just as interesting. Why can't we get those to be included in the Olympic Games? So that we can get someone from France learning how to play Owari.
I was about to say something earlier on, but I was taking a shower today, and I was having these ideas of African Union and what we should do. Are we going to even suggest any game if we're not yet won? Are we even going to get there to have... There are a lot of things...
You see, I'll tell you how we can do that. We have our own internal African games where those people are not involved.
The All African Games.
But when we go to All African Games,
do you know? At one point that was last year. I was on YouTube, and I saw these Sudanese how they fight. It's like a wrestling. It's like a wrestling that we see, but in an African way.
Okay.
And that thing had disappeared, but they are still doing it over there.
Very good.
And apparently, it happens in many African countries where they wrestle. And there's this other thing with the Maasai thing they do, you know, javelin.
So here's the thing.
But
they call it javelin. But so I'm getting to the point that you're raising. We have African Olympic Committee, don't we? I'm sure we have a body like that.
Yeah,
okay.
It exists, yeah.
And on that committee, you have somebody from Rwanda, someone from Congo, someone from Egypt. Why can't these people get together and say, hey, from Rwanda, what game do you like to present? Okay, we'll note it down.
Great idea.
What game do you want to present from
Great
Ghana?
idea.
What game do you want to present? The committee sits down and evaluate all those games and select maybe 5. Say, you know what? We're going to present these 5 games at the next All-African Games. And now all of a sudden, all Africans are playing that game. And from there, that 5, we can now push it to the Olympic Games. Why can't we do that?
Westernized. That is what we are trying to fight. Because those people who are representing in the Olympic, they're actually representing the values and whatever that have been put into them. Yeah. It's about soccer, volleyball, basketball, all Western games.
Yeah.
They really do not even know or even have the ambition.
Yeah.
These things have to come from ambitious generation.
Do you know Ampe?
No.
Ampe.
I know it. It's played by the ladies.
The ladies. It's a brilliant game. I'm telling you, it is. When we were young, I saw them, they playing, and I didn't understand it.
They want like...
Yeah, they do they jump and do this.
Like the legs.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, everybody...
Do you know I had to learn about Ampe in Houston, Texas?
Really?
When we had like Ghanaian games and the girls were playing, I said, let me sit down and look. And I got to understand it, and it's really brilliant. That is a game that you can take to the
Olympics.
The Olympics. But are we thinking along those lines?
But that is what you said, that it has to start from here.
It has to start
from all African Games, at least, that is ours. Yeah. So if we can start incorporating these African, genres of games right there, here,
yeah.
Okay, and then that is where we popularize it from. Because when you go to the Olympics right away, you want to go and introduce Ampe, you're going to have a hell of a time.
I know.
But when you have started to popularize it here,
Africa,
you know, at least within our own territory, we can start.
And the beautiful thing about this, you will not face any opposition from them.
We'll be winning.
Definitely,
we'll be beating them because we are
we need to
best
evolve
at it.
to love our own thing and to
I'm not even talking about the competitive level. I'm talking about the World Olympic Game, Olympic Committee, International Olympic Committee. If the African Olympic Committee said, look, we've evaluated this game and we want to present these 3 games to be included, do you think they're going to say no?
You know what? To me, again, it comes back to the same thing. We can't fight, if we fight 1,000 things at the same time, we're not going to win on that. The first thing to fight today is the leadership.
Yeah,
that's
if we get African Union from the top to work and to bring these countries all together, then we can talk of
so let's talk about that. Let's talk about Faki.
So talking about the leadership, talking about Faki. Okay, right now,
fix that, and then the other things will come.
Right now, we still have a few months. The elections is supposed to be in February. The first thing is, let's get the elections postponed. Let's get the nominations extended. What is so difficult about this? Why can't our leaders? Because we have, in law, we say precedents. Okay, you look back at, was a country faced with any, or was the judicial system faced with any such situation in the past? And if it was yes, what did we do? And this precedence is not far off. 2016, just 2016, we had a situation. We had a situation where
I got a question for you on that. Hang on, I got a question on that. This thing here. ECOWAS, they held a meeting here, I think last week, right?
Yeah.
And they summoned the Malian military junta to come. And the ECOWAS position was, no, you can't stay. You have to hand over power, blah, blah, blah. But around the table was Ouattara, guilty. Alpha Conde, guilty. Okay? You have several other people sitting on there who themselves are guilty of leadership breaches. What gives them the moral authority to tell the military people in Mali that they should give up power?
That's what I was about to suggest. Now, we have, I'm so glad that in all regions, ECOWAS is a little bit more functioning when it comes to that. We saw it with the Gambia issue where African Union failed. And then they were like, no, ECOWAS can resolve it. And we saw it resolved. Now we have Mali issue now resurfacing. And then with the DC, African is sleeping. Where is Mustafa killed? I had never seen any interview of Mustafa talking of issues in Mali. Rather, we saw ECOWAS rushing to Mali and now to Accra, and they resolved the issue. Now they have appointed a civilian rule.
Yeah.
But then...
He was former soldier.
But it's so amazing that Ouattara was there. It's so amazing that Guinea was there.
I wonder what Ouattara said at that meeting.
Because what he's trying to learn is, happen that you don't give up power, the same way ECOWAS wasn't tolerating Mali scandal, we're not going to tolerate Cote d'Ivoire scandal too. He better be prepared.
Yeah.
But what I want to see now the African Union as a whole.
Okay.
Yes, we have those people who are sitting in power for longer and they don't want to point fingers because they know the 4 others are pointing to them.
Oh, I can,
right.
Because I haven't stayed. I can point to Museveni.
When they do this, you know, when Museveni does this, these 3 looking back at him, right? Yeah. But again, we have other nations that are not, but we have to force.
Okay.
And again, education. Because we have a TV, amazing TV here. How many Africans know how African Union works?
Yeah.
How do we even know that? Yeah. Fewer even know that there's election coming for Mustafa Kil.
Do you know that?
People don't even know. I knew 2-3 days a week ago that there's election of African Union. I didn't know.
Wow.
So how many Africans know?
Yeah. And you are very Pan-Africanist.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's you're right about education, but my next question is this.
Yeah.
When ECOWAS put the heat on Mali, you see how quickly
it happened.
They happened. This same ECOWAS, why can't ECOWAS put sanctions on Cote d'Ivoire to get Ouattara to back off? Why can't ECOWAS put sanctions on Alpha Conde in Guinea to get him to back off? Because if we're trying to talk about leadership, and Nana Akufo-Addo, president of Ghana, is now the chairman of ECOWAS, I can sit here and put my life on the line that it will never cross the line, the mind of Nana Akufo-Addo to run for a 3rd term in Ghana. Do you see that happening?
No,
it won't happen. So if you're the chairman, and Ouattara is breaching his own constitution, Conde is breaching his own constitution, what is ECOWAS doing? Should ECOWAS put sanctions on Ivory Coast and Guinea?
But we're not yet there. Because the election is not yet, and we don't even know if he's going to run because they are still these speculations.
Well, put the sanction until he withdraws his candidacy.
He's still intending to run.
No, he has declared his candidacy. He is running, yes.
Then we should go ahead and
start the screws. But from the legal perspective, I don't want to go into, the nitty-gritties of, governance, jurisprudence, and all that. But you see, listen, if there is a constitution, each country has its own constitution, that governs the elections and everything. Okay. If the constitution of that country permits the president to run 3, 4, 5 times.
It doesn't.
Wait. I'm not referring to any specific context right now. Okay. The moment that is legally permissible, it is difficult for ECOWAS or African Union to rise up and say, hell no. Okay. In the specific case of Cote d'Ivoire, okay, the matter went to the Supreme Court. What did the Supreme Court say? Oh, okay, we can amend and he can run for a 3rd term. That is where the problem comes from.
Hang on.
If the person, if the highest court of his land has ruled, let's not talk about how
Cote d'Ivoire didn't have a change of constitution. The constitution still allows 2 terms.
But the matter went to the court.
But we also
and the Supreme Court says
that's where the Africanism comes in.
So from my perspective as a lawyer, that is where you have to be careful. The way with the AU is so. Let's get the head. Let's get the AU on its feet in terms of the right thing, it will seep down to
I think what
countries.
he's saying, if I remember correctly, if I hear you right, you're saying that the constitutional relevance
in every country is different.
of why Ouattara can run was submitted to the Supreme Court,
yes.
And the Supreme Court came.
Yes.
But we know, you and I both know, that Ouattara abused that system.
You see, how do you prove that? How do you prove that?
Let me talk about, I feel like I have an idea here. How long as Africans we're going to keep a blind eye to what's happening because you think, I'm a Ghanaian. At the end of the day, the court in Cote d'Ivoire gave him right to run, even though it's against the constitution. And the people of Cote d'Ivoire can't say anything because it's the president. We know how Africa runs because nobody dares to challenge a leader. And then we as Africans, we are powerful as a continent. We will choose to stay quiet because the court did what it was supposed to do because you are a lawyer. And if you're a lawyer, you know that is illegal. You know you are doing...
It is illegal for the Supreme Court
you are
to
doing... No.
The Supreme Court is the highest court of the land.
Can I just finish? It's the highest court of the land, but there's an abuse. You can choose to do something, right? But that you know is wrong.
I think I got it. You are saying the Supreme Court, whether they abuse or not, we can't prove it.
We can't prove it.
Right?
We just have to agree.
One second. And you are saying that we know that they were
bought. We have to be radical as a population of the country.
Okay, so maybe on matters such as this, we'll elevate it from the country's Supreme Court.
That is where the African Union Supreme Court, the African Union courts, should be functional and should be active.
But
because
again,
we have some messages. We say wonderful. Who is this? Wonderful discussion. Keep it up. Another one said, "What? My name is Kennedy Adumako. I'm in Kumasi. Please, this is my number. Blah blah. Hosting the program. Okay, I'll call you, Kennedy." Another person says, "Okay, these are very enlightening stuff. I didn't know about these things, so please keep it going." I can only do 3 for now. And here's another one. Owari game and all these kinds of games the men play in Ghana, Africa Fashions will also help. Somebody supports the AMPE that we talked about. Okay, but but my thing, look,
Jermaine, but
we can hide behind legalities.
No, you see, the thing is that when it comes to sovereignty, the principles of sovereignty of a sovereign state and their laws and what pertains there, it is very, very difficult for us as individuals, okay, to sit here and just conjecture that this is how come they got it done this way.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
So
what's the relevance of
Come on, we can't do that. Exactly.
That is my point. That is my point. Let's start from the African Union leadership and get it right there.
Okay,
and then if the African Union is sitting with the right head, okay, then it will seep down to the rest of the continent.
Okay, what do you say about that?
I'm just a normal citizen here, and I'm an African, and I'm seeing a mess going on all around. And the only thing that I can say, I'll talk about it, and I wish that my voice and other voices of Africans will reach there for the continent to tell their peers, like the other president, like Akufo-Addo will tell his peer, like, hey, listen, this is not right. Because we know in Africa so many abuses in constitution and in the courts going on in the continent. And the abuse is something that never happens in other countries when it comes to law. And it's happening on the continent. And we keep saying, yeah, we are allowed to happen because the constitution of that, the Supreme Court of that country allowed it. Even though it's, that's what the judge wanted to do.
Interestingly enough, I have dealt with this Cote d'Ivoire situation, so I know. Okay. Without going into the specific language of the constitution, what happened was that Ouattara, one of his parents from Burkina Faso, so for a long time he was blocked from running as president of Cote d'Ivoire.
Exactly.
So when he came, the change he made in the constitution is that now both of your parents don't have to be from Cote d'Ivoire. As long as one parent is from Cote d'Ivoire, that's good enough to run.
Which is amazing.
That was the main change that he made, he forced through in the constitution.
No, but this is about the third tenure. This particular one is about whether after the second tenure you can go for a third one.
And so when he made that new constitution, when it was promulgated to become, was ratified, he is standing on the new constitution that, oh, because of this new constitution, my first term is been nullified. So now, that was his argument.
I see.
That was the argument that the party was pushing. So whether the Supreme Court ruled or not, you and I both know that that's a baseless argument.
Illegal.
So why do we entertain it?
You are abusing power. You are abusing power. He's abusing power using his cronies in the Supreme Court. Simple.
That's it. So let's
are we going to keep turning a blind eye on a mess going on the continent?
But you see the argument.
I see the argument.
It was completely the constitution was completely.
I see the argument, but you see, maybe I'm looking at it as a lawyer.
My question again. Okay, as a lawyer, how do we determine the sovereignty of the nation when the people are being trampled, when the people have no voice? When we see Syria today, I'm not happy with what's happening, but because people were being silenced, not being given voice. But it's even happening worse here on the continent. The Ivorians surely need a new person, and they have even voiced out, we don't want you.
So listen.
But what we see is pushing the constitution to get his own will done.
We've got the final 3 minutes. Let's look at this issue of sovereignty and how it relates to where we're going as African Union, as a continental
3 minutes to talk about sovereignty.
Oh wait, well, I'm coming. But I'm even going to chip into
it's a whole 2-year subject at the law school.
I'm even going to chip into that 3 minutes to say that if you're watching us, DNT has been nominated for the Radio Television Presenter Award.
Okay.
Our category, Best Digital Station of the Year. Okay? If you like us, dial star 447 star 111 hash to vote for us. Okay? Log on to www.rtpawardsafrica.com, select RTP DNT. You know, DNT, we are going to blow everybody out of the water. If you are competitors, I'm not going to mention them, but we're coming at you. All right? We've been nominated. If you're watching, please, again, dial star 447 star 111 hash. Go to www.rtpawardsafrica.com and select RTP DNT. We've been selected and we're happy. But we've got 3 minutes. Thank you. We've got 3 minutes. Sovereignty as they relate to a continental body.
Yes.
We know there's abuse going on.
Yeah.
In any African country, the president has everybody in their pocket. If they choose to abuse it, they will abuse it.
True.
Faki sits in Addis Ababa. He knows this. So if it's his intention to change that, to weigh in, he will be able to do that. You're a lawyer. How do we do that?
We change Faki. No, okay. Seriously. Let's get Faki. It's serious. Let's get Faki up. We all know that the fish started rotting from the head. We need the head of the African Union to be changed.
Let me play devil's advocate.
And the best way for us to do it right now is to pile on the pressure.
Faki came here and launched the
African
free trade area. Great step in the right direction. He's doing his job. Why should he go?
He's not doing the job.
You're laughing.
Now, that's why I was talking about 2016 and you stopped. I mean, basically, we need African Union elections to be democratic and highly representative. Okay. We have 5 regions. In 2016, at the same time, there were 3 candidates from 3 regions. The African Union deemed it fit to cancel the elections and postpone the nominations because it was not representative enough.
Okay.
3 candidates.
Okay.
Was not representative enough. Okay. The African Union postponed. And that is how Faki himself got a chance to come in. Okay. Because as at this time in 2016, he wasn't a candidate.
Okay.
But because it was postponed and we wanted 5 candidates, he managed to come in as a 5th candidate. Actually, he filed his nomination in December. Now, how many months do we have before December? We still have a lot more time. If Madame Zuma did it for him, and he was able to come in, why shouldn't he do it for Africa? Why is he still, if 3 people were not enough, why should 1 person be enough?
I got something for you. You see, this document is from African Union, right?
Yeah.
for the position of candidates for the position of Commissioner for Agriculture, Rural Development, Blue Economy, and Sustainable Environment. 14 candidates.
Yes. And 3 of them are from one country.
I
have it right here.
Good.
3 of them are from South Sudan. Okay, that is amazing. And you see, and the reason is this. The reason why I brought it, you know, we have from Ugula, Kayuku, Ibadia,
you don't go to the name because we have just the number of candidates.
Yeah, so candidates 12, 13, 14 on that list. All of them are from South Sudan.
From the eastern region.
Yes.
Okay.
That means that not all of them were nominated by their president.
You got it. Okay.
At least
what about
we know that two of them must have filed nominations online, the same way Arikana did.
Okay.
So our point is that why should her nomination be taken out?
Okay.
When we have other candidates that filed online nominations, and not through their presidents, and they are in.
What about the candidate for position of economic development, trade, industry, and mining? 16 candidates.
Yes, 16.
Candidates for the position of Commissioner of Education, Science, Technology,
17.
Innovation. 17.
Yes.
Candidates for position of Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy. 9.
9.
For position of Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Stability. 15. For position of Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian, blah, blah, blah.
18.
18.
So you know what that tells us?
And for the deputy, I don't have that. The deputy was
the deputy is 8.
8.
The deputy is 8.
And so the only position
only one.
that Mafia this he played in was only the. You see, if you have a list like this, that tells you that
let's be
the
honest.
election
let's be honest. There's
very, very
conspiracy in the level of presidency in Africa, where if the presidents come together and agree, I'm sorry for saying this, we want that one person to continue, and then that's what we are seeing today. Now the problem is, how do we get rather to challenge the regions to say, you know what, we want you nominate a person. But you can only do that if the people of Kenya tells Uhuru Kenyatta and say, you know what, we didn't know the election is happening and we want the change. Your TV, people, we need to educate Kenyans. We need to tell South Africans, hey, listen, we need that person to be changed. South Africans do not know until today.
Okay.
Right? Later, the South African ask them oppose. Petition. Now, we are petitioning name of African Union.
Yes.
But can't we have countries petition their president to nominate, to talk, to
that would be fantastic.
We had the Ghana now. We like that Akufo-Addo is nominating somebody, we're willing to nominate somebody. We need the Nigerians to tell Buhari nominate somebody with